Tony Hetherington spoke harshly about the company in which he lost money. Tony Hetherington is the Financial Mail's lead investigator in Sunday's edition, battling with readers, uncovering the truth behind closed doors, and winning victories for those left without funds. Find out how to contact him below. Writes, I had the misfortune to deal with CLICK4 Reg Limited. I put my car's license plate up for sale with them, and in May last year they informed me that it had been sold for $150. They haven't paid me since. They blamed the DVLA until I discovered that the license plate had been transferred to the car a few months ago. Then they said they had problems with their phones. Finally, they said that their payment system had failed. Tony Hetherington responds. On May 10 last year, CLICK4 Reg wrote from its office in St Leonards-on-Sea, East Sussex, congratulating you on the sale of your license plate. You had to fill out a transfer form and assure that shortly after the successful transfer of ownership, a member of our team will contact you to confirm the sending of your payment receipt. You sent back the completed form, and a few weeks later, in July, CLICK4 Reg informed you that the transfer was still going through the DVLA. It adds that as soon as the transfer is confirmed, it will refund you £150, which assumes that CLICK4 Reg has already been paid by the buyer. In November, you reminded the company that you were still waiting for payment. She replied that our phone line is down due to maintenance. Shortly after, CLICK4 Reg wrote that our entire payment system is down. It added, please rest assured, our entire team is working around the clock to sort this out as soon as possible. And a few days before Christmas, you were informed in an email that we are currently awaiting further response from our providers. But here's the funny thing. An online review from another customer who was expecting payment from CLICK4 Reg says, the last excuse is that their system doesn't work. And that was last May. Does this mean that the company has been suffering the same failure for 6 months? And here's another online review. I just got a call on November 22 and was informed that the systems were not working in the morning. This morning? So, did the team working around the clock fix things up again, only for them to collapse again? So what is the problem with CLICK4 Reg? Well, one problem is that her latest reports say she owes over £1 million. Who owes all this cash? Unnamed partners of CLICK4 Reg, that's who. In a nutshell, CLICK4 Reg lent a bunch of cash to people or companies everyone involved without paying their own customers. After some more digging, it turned out that CLICK4 Reg belongs to Eli Fahuri. He also ran a separate company called Sussex Exchange Limited until it went bankrupt last July, owing £1.85 million. And among this huge debt, CLICK4 Reg owed $830,462. And this is not his only problematic business. He also runs another company in Sussex, Fahuri Group Limited, which received an unsatisfied court order to recover £714 from it. I explained all this to Mr. Fahuri and asked him to comment. He didn't answer, but one of his staff told me. Unfortunately, during the security update of our server, we encountered some losses and errors in the classification data. As a result, we have to manually match each order with the corresponding transaction ID and payments. This process inevitably led to delays. Your own waiting is over. After a string of excuses lasting 8 months, CLICK4 Reg told me that payment was on the way, and a few days ago you confirmed that you had received your £150. No one can accuse CLICK4 Reg of speeding, but driving at the speed of an euthanized turtle deserves more than an apology, so it added another £50.